Everyone says your trading problems are psychological, discipline, emotions, mindset. But what if I told you that your psychology isn't the problem? It's that you've never built trust in your edge or yourself. And that's exactly what backtesting solves. Backtesting doesn't just give you stats, it gives you belief. You start to trust your edge. And once you trust your edge, following your trading rules become natural because you know they work. That's real emotional control. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I backtest my trades and how it has helped me towards becoming a profitable trader. All right, let's dive in. The definition of backtesting is very simple. Backtesting is the process of testing a trading or investment strategy or a predictive model using historical data to see how it would have performed in the past. Mind you, I'd like you to understand this sentence that are underlined here. Backtesting really tells you how a strategy would have performed in the past. But the good thing is that every strategy you backtest usually repeats itself in the future. So now, why do you backtest? To know how to backtest, you need to know why. Now, many of you may have different reasons why you are backtesting. When I began trading, major reason why I was backtesting them was to find out if a strategy works or not and how much I can make from that strategy. But as I grew on in my experience in trading, I've come to learn that backtesting offers a whole lot more than that. So because of that mindset and because of that desire, all I did was recorded my trades, the entries, the stop, the entry price, if it was a buy or a sell, what market, and all, just to know the win rate, if it works, and how much I can make. But currently in my stage of growth, I backtest to solve these three problems. Number one is strategy information. Number two is strategy optimization. And then number three is psychological fears. Now, what do I mean by these three things? Now, before we dive deeper into the three problems backtesting can solve, I'd like you to understand something about trading. Now, when I began trading, I used to hear trading is 10% mechanics, 90% psychology. Some will say 50% mechanics, 5% psychology. So because of that, I saw psychology as this abstract thing where I don't have much control over. And all I need to do was to just keep trading, never give up. And one day my psychology will become perfect. Then later on, I grew to a different level of understanding that psychology has to do with my emotions. So what I need to do is to throw away my emotions straight in dustbin whenever I'm trading, block it off whenever I feel fear, whenever I feel greed, just try and block off the emotions. But now I've come to realize that psychology is something that can be solved through mechanics. It's not this abstract thing that you just hope to be solved on its own. There's a way to solve it. And how to solve it is understanding the mechanics that forms this aspect of psychology. And we're going to be talking about it in this video as I explain how to backtest. So now, one of the problems that backtesting solve is strategy information. Now, you want to know your strategy like you know your name. You want to know it to the core. You want to understand every single thing about the strategy. What conditions does this strategy work best? What time of day, what day of the week? What market conditions? Trendy, contrarian, or consolidating markets? How many times does it occur in a day, in a month, in a week? What pairs does it work best? What asset class or market? What is the win rate? How much drawdown should you expect? What is the best risk reward? Economic news event to trade in and the ones to avoid. Now, this is a lot of information. I don't want to talk or dive deep into any of them so that this video doesn't get lengthy. Now, you can see that there's a lot that you can get from backtesting, and knowing this gives you strong confidence in your edge. All right. The next is strategy optimization. Now, what's this? It's all about refining your strategy, deleting what doesn't work and adding to it what works. That is bringing a couple of confluences. And then you want to see what rules to abide in your trading system and what rules to forfeit and delete. This is all about making your rule perfect for you and the market environment, because you come to see that market actually changes as time goes on. So you want to keep refining your strategy to fit the current state of the market. Now, this doesn't mean that you change your strategy entirely. No, it's just all about finding what to tweak here and there. Just that little thing to add and to take out, that little thing to ignore, and that little thing to improve. Now, this strategy you are backtesting in the marketplace is probably a strategy you got from the internet, from a mentor or someone. And as a trader, you realize that every single one is different. Every single one trades the market differently. In order to make this strategy your own, you realize that there's some things you need to add and take out. So this has to do with strategy optimization that is suited for you uniquely and only you. All right. And the last, which I think for me is very, very important, is the psychological fears. Now, in trading, you don't want to trade with emotions, and fear is an emotion. Fear leads to greed. Now, greed is the belief of scarcity, and when you believe there's scarcity, it leads to fear, and you want to get and get and get as much as you can because you are scared that you will not have enough. So it all leads back to fear. Now, there are three sources of fear when it comes to trading. The first is lack of trust in your edge. Once you don't trust your edge, when you're entering the market, you'll be scared of pulling out a trade because you don't trust this edge. You don't even know this edge because you've not back tested it. Two is lack of self-trust. Now, self-trust has to do with the belief that you are going to act in your self-interest. Many people think that their fear comes from the market, but actually they are scared of themselves. They are scared of actually following through their rules. Imagine you tell yourself that today I'm not going to trade, and then you find yourself behind your laptop trading. Now, this destroys your self-confidence. And because of this fear, we begin to mess up in the marketplace. And then the last is believe in trading. Many people don't believe that trading can actually make them rich. Why some do, why some do not. Now, if you don't believe in trading, actually, it will mess up your career as a trader. Now, these three things, they support themselves. If you have a good trust in your edge, what happens? It gives you more courage to trade that strategy. And once you trade a strategy, what happens? You see that you are following your rules because you begin to act as a consistent trader. You are following your rules. It becomes easy to follow these rules because you know that this strategy is going to work. And as you begin to do that, you're gaining more self-interest because how it happens is many of the people you listen to, they tell you act like the person you want to become. The brain doesn't know what is real and what's fake. By the time you begin to act like it begins to tell the brain that this is who you are. So as you keep imbibing good habits in trading, your brain begins to tell yourself that you are a consistent trader and you follow your rules. You are a disciplined trader. Then when you see the outcome, it begins to strengthen the belief that actually trading can work, so the three works together. And before you can do all these things, back testing is needed. All right. How do you back test? The first thing you need to do is to choose a strategy with clear and simple rules. You want to know what you're looking for in the marketplace. You don't want to have too many rules to avoid complexity and confusion. You want to look at the market and know what exactly you are looking for. If I see this, I see this, I see that, I enter. Clear higher time frame levels to create a setup from. Clear entry and exit rules. That's one. Secondly, you want to pick a market. You don't want to backtest in one market, in another market, in another market. You are only spreading yourself thin. You want to focus on one market and optimize the strategy to the point that you know it and you are so good at it to the point that you can trade this market with such confidence before you move to another market. So the next, you want to set up your tools for backtesting. A couple of tools we have here. We have FX Replay, TradingView, Notion, Trader Casa. Now, I personally, I use the Notion and Traders Casa. Then next, you want to record your trades with screenshots. Like I said before earlier, when I used to backtest, I do not record the screenshots. I just record the entry price, exit price, profit I made, and so on. I'm sure you guys know those things. But now I take screenshots. Now, why do I take screenshots? So that I can be able to go back and see how the market looked. It is when I'm able to see how it looked, I'm able to refine the strategy, especially the entries. I could say, okay, I wouldn't wait for a break of a high before I enter. I may just wait for a fair value gap because I've come to realize that the ones that do not break highs are usually profitable. So it's just, I'm just assuming. And most times you realize that when you go back to the trades you took, because you've taken multiple samples, you would see that those ones you took earlier before, they were actually poor setups. Now you've refined your site, you've seen it over and over and over and over again. So it becomes like second nature to you. All right. So that's why I would advise that you screenshot and you record them. Then the fifth is you want to analyze, which is just what I explained. You want to see the win rate, the average risk to reward, the expectancy, the maximum. Now, this is very important. When you've now back tested the strategy, many of the expectations you have will now meet reality. Because many times when you have a strategy that you've not back tested, probably copied it somewhere, You'll be expecting that the strategy occurs 5 times in a day or 20 times in a week. And that's why you're entering the market and you're over trading. But when you backtest the strategy and you discover that, okay, this strategy just works on an average of 3 to 4 times in a week, what does that mean? It means you shouldn't be trading more than 4 to 3 times in a week. So this already takes away over trading because you know what to expect. And at the same time, you will discover that this strategy works, but they are also losing trades. But those losing trades doesn't mean you will not be profitable at the end. So when you take a trade and you lost that trade, you wouldn't feel sad because you know that it's part of the game. So it matches your expectancy with reality. Then another thing you also come to see is the maximum drawdown. After backtesting the sample of size, you want to see how much losses you have consecutively at a particular time. You'll discover that the highest consecutive losses you had could be just 3, 4, or 5. And if you are risking 1% per trade, so when you have 5% drawdown in your live account, you wouldn't be scared because you expect that to happen. That's the max drawdown to expect. 10%, 11%, because you've backtested it. Now, these are just numbers. They are just used to predict what will happen in the future. And usually, they are not actually far-fetched when you compare it because these things repeat themselves over and over and over again. Then the profit factor, you will now want to know what makes the strategy much profitable. Is it the time of the day? You discover that the strategy doesn't work on Fridays. What do? You take off Fridays as a trading day for yourself. You don't trade on Fridays. And then if you discover that it doesn't work on Mondays too, you take off Monday as a trading day for yourself. Now you're building your own inner trader. Anybody can come online and tell you that, okay, this is what I think, and I'm trading on Monday. But you know your strategy, you know yourself. You know that this doesn't work for you. So what happens? You know what to do. Everything is clear, simple, and precise. This is what builds consistency. So if you've done all this, you start the process again. After analyzing the results, then you go back again to make corrections and then back test this data and repeat this cycle over and over and over again. Now, there are many things that constitute to you becoming a profitable trader. But in a nutshell, I would say it all has to do with reps in the right thing. You have to repeat it over and over and over again. Repeat doing the right thing over and over and over again. Now remember this. You have to have trust in your edge, trust in yourself, and believe in trading. When you have good trust in your edge, what happens? You are able to trade your strategy with confidence, knowing that it will work for you. What happens? By the time you display this habit over time, you begin to build confidence in yourself that you are able to act in your self-interest. Whenever you say you won't do something, you find yourself not doing it. Whenever you say you will do something, you find yourself doing it. This builds confidence. And as a result of doing that, you begin to see good results in your trading. And when you see good results in your trading, you begin to believe in trading itself, that trading actually works and it can make you rich. Now, let's dive into the process. All right, here's my Notion setup. You can see it is in form of a calendar. And this is January 2023. The pair I've been back testing is the NASDAQ. The ones that were losses are in red. The ones that are in a break even are in blue. And the ones that were in win are in green. So you can see the data here. Okay, so let me go through an example. And please don't be too overwhelmed by seeing all this. I'll leave a link to a video that gives a tutorial of how to set up your app, your Notion app like this. So don't worry. So let's look at an example here. Now, the information I like to collect are the date, you can see here, the time of entry. Now, this will tell me, okay, this is the best time that this strategy should work. Then the AOI, which is the area of interest, this just an information about where the trade was taken from. What sponsored the trade? Is it liquidity run, order block, fair value gap, 50 minutes, liquidity run, 50 minutes. Now, you can see a whole lot here because I'm still working on the strategy. I'm still optimizing it. I still want to know what works and what doesn't work. Then we have the session. So I've divided the session into morning, lunch, afternoon, and night. And then entry. So now you can see I have multiple entries. Now, this doesn't mean I have multiple entry patterns. It's still the same entry pattern. Just that this entry pattern have different tweaks here and there. So you can see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different type of entries, but with the same pattern. So I'm doing this so that I'll be able to know which works best. Now, When after I'm done collecting my data, I will then review the trades and see which one works and which one doesn't work. So the ones that have more of losing trades, I'll throw them in the dustbin. While the ones that have higher probabilities, I keep them. So I would reduce everything. It wouldn't be like this. I wouldn't have this amount of entries. No, no, no. I would just reduce it to A plus and B plus, or probably A plus plus, A plus, and B plus. And that'll be all. Okay. So the results, a minus means it was a loss. A plus means it was profit. Equal sign means it was a break even. Then this is a stop. This stop is just the amount of pips away from the entry. And then the risk reward here, I don't know, it wasn't recorded there. Could that be 3, 4, or 2R? Then here is the news. This just tells me what was happening that particular time in the economic calendar. So let me show you pictures. So actually post a picture of the economic calendar for that day or the week, so that I know the days to avoid and the days to trade. So this is a higher time frame. I actually go from the weekly. So now what happens is that I look for my edge. When I find it, I go to the higher time frame, which is the weekly time frame first, and then I analyze it. I mark out areas that I can see. You can see here is a weekly fair value gap high, just to keep it neat. And then I'll show you the next slide. This is the daily time frame. And then you can see how it was reaching out for this high and then finding support in those fair value gap. Now, this is the day I'm analyzing this day. Okay. So you can see that weekly fair value gap still here. And you can see here the daily, this is a 4-hour time frame, but this is a daily. Let's go back so you could see. There's a daily order block. See price finding support. See price finding support here. And then we can see this is the 4-hour order block, price finding support, reaching out for this what high. Let's go to the 1 hour. So this 1 hour is named the institutional level. Let me show it to you. You can see it here. This is okay. You can see it here is the institutional level here. This is the 1 hour, the same thing we saw in that slide. Now I've marked out my institutional level. You can see that this high was actually taken, and as soon as it was taken, let's go back. It wasn't taken here, but it was taken here. So as soon as it was taken, price reversed. So I expected that as soon as this low was taken, price would have reversed into this range, at least. Not much. I just needed something small, like price to reverse into this range, because that's taking this low and there's another block here. So I'm expecting to buy here. You can see the arrow clear. So this is a 50-minute time frame. This is just to look for any other confluence I could add. And then there's the 1-minute time frame. So you could see I was using the ICT 2022 entry model. Price took out this low, broke this high, created fair value gap. So I expected that price will find support here and then rally after taking out the Asian low. So the trade failed. So I recorded it. This will just let me know that no matter how good the trade looks, it can still fail, and that's fine. And then now, one very important thing I want you to know is that you can actually come to check the results. So let's say you just want to, let's change this to edit view. Let's change it to table. Let's change it to table. So you can see it's a view. So you can actually decide to select the ones you want to analyze. So let's say we want to look out for all losing trades. So this minus sign means all losing trades. So when you click on it, you discover that all these trades are losing trades. Then you can compare, okay, I'm getting more losing trades in the morning than in the night, in the afternoon. So with this information, you can now readjust your trading system. It doesn't mean you are changing your strategy in this instance, because now you discover that the strategy works better at night and in the afternoon. So what happens? You want to trade more at night and in the afternoon, and don't trade at all in the morning. Or you could trade at all sessions, but you will risk more in the afternoon and night and risk less in the morning. So I hope this helped. If you have any question or any area you want me to make a video explaining any concept, please leave it in the comment section. And as always, I wish you all good luck and good trading.